Hello guys, uh, this is me Arshan over here, and today I'll be taking your session on Unreal Engine's mechanic on grappling hook. Yeah, so this would be a very slow session because it's not a very easy mechanic right from scratch if you're beginners. So I'll be explaining all the concepts that are required while we move into the actual like making of the mechanic. So without further ado, let's start sharing screen. Uh, all right. So wait, let's have- okay, okay. So some uh, I'll just be sharing my thoughts. Yeah. Okay. So this is exactly what I've created. Kind of like showcase you guys on what we're kind of trying. So this is a very simple parkour kind of platform that I've created for my own game, which I'm working on. And I thought, why not show you guys a little bit of what I've been doing. So, so like some mechanics which are like easy to create, vaulting, stuff like that. And what we're going to be trying to successfully recreate today here is this mechanic where if I'm not looking at it, see that thing does the icon does not pop up. Or as soon as I look at it and I'm like within distance of it, this icon will pop up like a target icon at the far end. And if I press Q, I will be like shooting kind of like a grappling hook that would kind of like fly out of my hand and reach that area. So this is exactly what we're going to be trying to create to some extent as much as possible. And if it's like a really hard thing to do, then uh, I kind of like try to as much as possible today and continue the rest on session. So yeah, as you can see, there's another one over here. This is like a very cool mechanic in games because you can use this to like clear vantage points and stuff like that and get past uh, high elevations and uh, to like other favorable. So this is exactly what we're going to be doing. It's kind of like playing this entire level. Level one of three, climb here, climb to here, now climb up. So like if I like this would be the prime example to explain what we're trying to create. If my camera is pointing towards that grappling hook, it would be seen, and if it shifts to this one, the nearest one, then it automatically lock on this one, and then you can just like lock on it. That's the basic mechanic that we're trying to make based on the various cameras input, like change the target that we want to lock. And the way I've implemented this is with the help of like simple points in vector space. Like so, this is one point where so- wow, not, yeah, okay, yeah, select. So yeah, so this is like one vector space. It's an active movement I've created. So you can see it's like different points in space. There's one here. There's one here. There are actually two here. This is like part of my testing area, which I was trying to do. So there's like one there. There's one here. And as you can see, this is exactly what we're trying to create. So So, if you have any doubts, just let me know. I'll immediately uh, kind of like make sure that I clear. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna be now. Yeah, as you can see, I have to update mine, and I'm also going to be installing 5.2.0, maybe my next set of tutorials will be following on this engine. Um, because this is a very versatile engine. Just go to the news itself and see features in Unreal Engine. It's like advanced right now because you can environments, create a little bit for yourself and then use it to generate the rest, which is a crazy thing in my books. So without without these kind of tools, it's really hard for us developers to also create. And it's process and pipeline is very long and time's taking sometimes. So it's pretty good to have something like this nice to come. Which is why I think as soon as if you guys want, I can like a kind of like a write up or review on this. As we stay updated on a lot of things that we as game developers do, our Instagram socials as well. So please remember to follow Tackler. Yeah. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be launching a new project. Probably time. Um, it's like a 5 minutes. Yeah, as you can see, it's like pretty slow. So as soon as this loads up, I'll kind of like uh, start. Yeah. Okay. So the browser is open. So okay. I think it's hold on. So, yeah. So forward ahead. Yeah. There might be like a little bit of bugs or something. Some stream. So and what I'm going to be is, I'm going to be selecting a game and we're going to be selecting a third person template for this because yeah we don't want to like start from scratch something like that. And yeah, I'm going to be this, you can name this as whatever project name you want. It's Grappling, like names that make sense. So like there are like a lot of projects which I've seen have like weird names like number one or number two. Doesn't make sense. And then later on you'll be like, oh my god, what's exactly happening? Uh, like what is this? What do you call it? No, like what is this project is all about? Yeah, so think like I think this will also take a little time. Just give it a second. Just give it a few seconds. Okay, yeah, I think that works good. Alright, so um, yep, let's get started on this. This is the window which I have opened up, and I'll be explaining a little bit of like stuff in basics. So as you know, this is your third person map that pops up when you use third person template. This is your player start icon, and these are like some boxes and stuff like that that are interactable, uh, physics oriented. So like play, you'll get this entire person, a female mannequin inside our picture. This is a built-in model, so you don't have to like worry about importing your own. If you want to, you can actually make your own model in this game, which if you guys want, and upon further request, I can even create a more detailed tutorial on how to make your own third-person character from scratch. All of the abilities, like if you want like attach swords or weapons or guns like that, I'll explain how to do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna person right now, my friends, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be changing this model. This looks more cooler with the main modeling. Speaking that, yeah. You can just go over here, and if you want to use the other form of the model, select go here and go to game menu. Simple. Select the skeleton mesh and change the animation from ABB Twin to ABB compile, save, and you can also drag this, uh, and that's how it works. Uh, all right, so let's start with uh, basic project setup. So let's hop on to my project. See once. Okay, yeah. So first things, let's get whatever we require in the game side, uh, like our project. So first things first, I'm going to be creating a folder. I'm calling this grappling mechanic. So every code related to the grappling mechanic will be inside this folder. Along with that, it's going to be inside this for my icons, and I'll be explaining what I need this icon. So yeah, so here you can see I have like this small transparent image target. You can easily do this, just create it on, look up on any image that you want as your icon, just like the background, make it transparent, and use that as your widget inside the game. So dragging this, going into my Real Engine folder inside my content browser, and I'm just going to drop it. That's it. And it will automatically get imported as a texture file. So here you can see the path of the file and format and dimensions and everything. And also from where is this file taken from. So I'll be saving this. Remember to save your projects, otherwise you're going to be crying badly. Uh, to actually lose all of these stuffs. That, so, yeah, as you can see, the shortcut for this is Control plus Spacebar for content browser from below. Try that. Otherwise, just leave it. Or you can even just like take this out, press stock in layout, and this will come up on top as you like to set it, and then drag it stuff. But I like it when it's like small widget kind of a thing. Screen. So just gonna setting this back. Alright, so what we're going to be doing right now is going back to that texture icon, open it up, you get this kind of a screen. So over here you can see there's like a lot of settings. It's like a different tool itself in order to like manage your textures. So like suppose if you like turn off your alpha, it will like use your like it will remove all of the transparencies from the game, like from the image. But that's already coded into your image itself. Then you have like if you turn off the blue part, it will show you a mixture of red and green. Turn off the red and also the, like it'll be like nothing is gonna be there in your game. So this is like RGBA red and alpha. It follows this kind of format in Unreal Engines, like the latest one. There are other settings as well, but it's come this. As for texture group, I'm just going to be changing this to UI, and my compression settings, I think it's user in. Check it once. Yeah, I'm just going to be setting this so that it renders correctly inside my game, because we're going to be as a UI element, not as a. So save it, and now we're gonna be focusing on creating all of our different blueprints that we require inside the game. Uh, Everything else that we're going to be creating, this is the only thing that we're going to be using is this texture file. That's the only thing that needs to be imported. So we're going to be creating everything else from scratch. Okay, just see my previous code 1 second. Alright, so inside this, I'm just going to be creating another folder called blueprints. This is where I'm going to be storing all of my code, main code of my game. It's nice to keep stuff organized, otherwise it'll be hard for us to kind of like navigate to these different blueprints. You can probably just search for it, but it's like a time-taking process. So it's good if you have all of your folders organized. So I'm going to be going into my blueprints folder, and you guys know how to create a blueprint. Just right click, go to blueprint class, and then you'll see a bunch of all common classes that can be used inside the game. Or if you like select or like open this, you'll see a list of all the possible blueprint classes that you uh, for your game. So just like drop down and see it's like a bunch of other targets, the canvas and texture and target. It's like a lot. So what I'm going to be focusing on is an actor component. So the reason why we're storing all of our code inside an actor component is so that if we need another AI or some other character to have the same code as what we're using in this blueprint, then just like drag it over here inside your components folder, add, and then it's a grappling component. Select that and paste it into your game. That's it. It's as simple as that. You don't have to do anything else. In terms of like components. Right? So I'm opening up my component right now, and as you can see, there's like a couple of events. And it's just like a normal blueprint with an event graph. You do not have a report because this is a component. Which is won't have any other. So let's close this one now, and but then, okay, yeah. So now we've made our grappling component. I'm going to be needing a target. So I'm going to be doing another different class, calling this actor. I'm going to be writing this db underscore grapple. So this is going to be another actor blueprint. And alright, so this is open up this blueprint, save this. And what I'm going to be doing is yeah, it's in class different. Um, yeah, so I'm just going to be setting this start with tick enable because we don't want this to happen because this is a static object. This is not something that's going to be in, or it's not something that's going to be changing as a game. So I'm just going to remove this part and file, see, it should work. Then And yep, so I think that's all we'll be doing right now inside this grapple target. And the next thing that we're going to do is the actual wire that comes out of the hand. So for that, we're just going to go to class and search for a cable actor, and then select this one. Under all classes, as I said, you got to like drop it down, search for cable actor, select it, and it's just going to be a wire. So it'll be like this telephone communication line kind of a. I'm a bit like fussy when it comes to names. I want it perfect. Sure. So it'll look like this telephone kind of a wire here. Uh, all right. Next. Oh yeah. So as part of like the grappling hook mechanic, you obviously need a hook in your mechanic. So we're going to be using that as also as a separate hook class. Just going to use it as a grapple, like an active wire, and it's going to save all of these. Some actually first, and now we need two more things. One is the widget that we actually require inside the game, so that it shows as like a target blueprint. So I'm just going to select a widget blueprint. W for stands for widget blueprint. Um, grapple icon, just like me, whatever you want. It's going to be long save button. It's going to be saving that. And the last thing we need is an enumeration. So for those who do not know what's an enumeration, it's like an equivalent of a list. So you just store named values inside this. That's it. It's like it'll be of the type name inside it, and you can use them as a list. And why we use enumerations is that so like in our games when we have different states, and each state will have like different things to be done within that state. So we use enumerations to say which all states are possible inside the game. So just click on add enumerator, and I'll be naming all of our states. So I think there'll be like 4 states for this. Yeah, so we'll be like 4. Um, so first one would be the retracted, second one would be firing, then you'll want one for like hitting the target, or target. Last one on target. So I'm going to be saving this. So we have all of our major blueprints set up. We might need to change this as we go, but I think let's get started on writing code in all of our blueprints. So what we're going to be doing, um, okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is like when you walk around, like in our actual showcasing project which I showed you. So when you walk around and when you lock on a particular target, so see which all targets are available and lock on to that particular target. So wait, I'll just show that. Size, yeah, here. So in here, as you can see, there's like a lot of targets that you can lock on. So when you play the game, uh, I think instead of like playing it from scratch, let's go to that. So yeah, so the best example is to play from. So yeah, so as I like move my camera, another widget, it will lock onto that instead of running. So you can see here, otherwise if I look here, it will look down, otherwise if I look there, it will lock onto that. Then that's how we person here will start. So yeah, so let's get started on this part. Yeah. It's going to and Okay, so let's go into our grapple component and start putting code over here. Let's just click on open footprint editor and you'll get into the screen again. Then play event it, and up here I'm going to be calling out um, get. No, yeah, it's get owner. So from get owner, the reason why we're going to be using get owner over here is that it's going to get the owner of this particular component. So like when you go into your third person character and add it into this part of the component list, then it'll get this particular grappling component into that third person character. So it's going to be dragging our first third person character. Okay. Character, because we want to make sure that it's casting only to this blueprint. That means if it exists only in this blueprint, then only it will execute even begin. And from here, I'm going to promote this to a variable, and I'm going to call it cat. Basically, a reference to this only character, so that later in our blueprint, when we need like call this again and again, we don't have to cast it every single time. Just call this variable because it's already casted once. So all the details of that of this variable is stored inside. I mean, okay, and any changes we make over here will affect this group itself. Because there's only one character in the game. It's not like multiple. If there are multiple characters, it's like a separate thing for that. I'm just going to be putting this to on success only for the compile so that I don't have to save every single time. If I just click compile, it will compile first and then save automatically. Yeah, so what we're going to be requiring the most is event tick because this is how we're going to be making sure that the player can focus, like which target should the player focus on. Um, that's going to be done with the help of event tick. So I'll be explaining how you can add code to that. Okay, so the first thing what we're going to do is creating a new variable called graphic states. Uh, you already know that we created an enum list for that graphic state. So we're going to be putting the type of that variable as that particular. enum. So I'm going to be searching for graphic states. As you can see, you find that under the enum operation. And yeah, so when you write out this variable, get grapple states, you can see you have four options: retracted, firing, near target, and on target. This is how you create a kind of like a list inside the game, a drop down list basically, not an actual list, but yeah, works same. If you want like another like inside the variable itself, you can create like a single array map set map. This is like the case of doing this, but if you want to work with states, the best way is to do that not with an array or with a set or with a map, but with an enumeration. So that's why we're going to be naming this variable as enumeration variable, graphic states. Yeah, and also I'm going to be setting both of these to private. This is important so that we don't want this to be used by any character inside this blueprint. We don't want it to be referenced over here. So it's just going to be like a one-way process. You can only make changes in that in this inside the blueprint, but you can't make any changes to this particular variable outside this. So and for category, you can just type over here private. Will directly put inside a private category once you type over there, and then just like drag and this works. So what am I going to be doing first is on event pick, I'm going to be switch. So every time when you switch the states, a different code is going to be running on this. So like every single moment, it will call on this switch on graphic states. Basically, it will be checking on which state it is, and the moment you change the value of this variable from retracted to like firing, then it will fire this part of it. If it's if it's on like near the target, then it'll fire this part of the code. That's exactly how we're going to be. So over here on retracted, firing, target, we're going to be creating four different functions. So basically, these will also all be running on tick. So what we're going to be doing is under functions, and we're going to be stick, fire, tick. factor. And the access specifier, I'm going to be selecting just private, and category, I'm just going to compile, save. And what we're going to do is duplicate this. So I'm going to select firing, and again duplicate this. I'm going to stick, target. It's not making a function. Let's duplicate the other one. So that otherwise you're just going to have, for no reason, it's going to be the same. Okay, on target. So yeah, we made our four functions, and let's get it first one. I'm just going to focus on the other ones. This one. Yeah, so in our event graph, let's hook all of these functions into this, this, drag, like it right over here, automatically line plus it's plus. And yeah, so you guys understood this logic. It's pretty simple. So like we're calling this switching on grappling states using event pick, and all of these functions are going to be called every frame of every second while this tick runs. So that's basically what we're trying to do here. So so let's go inside retractor for now. And so what we're going to be doing first inside retracted. So in retracted, what you're going to be needing the game to do is kind of like you like taking this as a character, like this as my character. I want to get like a reference of all the available actors that are near to me at a particular distance. So the way to do that is inside my tick retracted, I'm going to be calling a sphere overlap factors. Sphere overlap factors. Yep, this is a function that I want to call from here, and so the position of the sphere is going to be character. This is why we have saved this character as a variable. From here on, I'm going to this will tell me the actor's location world at that particular point in time. Don't worry about this error. I'll retell it. We'll have to hook the other stuff up so that the next thing that we're going to be needing is the sphere radius. So I'm going to be promoting the store view. I'm going to be calling it max grapple distance. So you guys want an example for this? um, Go into this editor and see like best example to do here is to click over here. So as you can see, like I'm far away from that icon and I'm not able to see it. But when I go nearer to it, it comes into it. It's not because any other icon, there is some other icon that's active right now. There is literally no icon that's active right now. They're all deactivated. And once you come near to them, within the grappling distance, and um, if it's like visible to us, should then only you should like it should pop up. Otherwise, it shouldn't work. So like that. That's exactly what we're going to be trying to do over here. So that let's go back to uh, explaining. So yeah, I'm going to be using this. This is the way how we're doing that. We're just going to be um, max grapple distance, some value. The default value I'm going to let's see 10,000. Oops. You guys can tweak around this value depending on your team. The second thing is I'm going to be for the object type. I'm going to make it an array. So search for make array because this is why the error is coming. Because see error object types is invalid because we need to specify something like that. And for that, I'm going to be setting it to static. And for the active class filter, it's going to be double target because we're going to be looking actively for these targets and not for him. And I think for that, everything else is done. And as an out actor, basically we need to be creating another function over here because we need to check like the best and the closest actor to us. And so for that, we're going to be creating a function called find best actor. So just give it a second, one second. Alright, yeah, so I'm just going to be creating another function called find best target. It's also will be a private and okay, so we're going to be using inputs and outputs for this because we need some inputs and some outputs. So for an input, we're just going to be calling this targets. Because then we're going to be searching for actors as a target should be over here, like object reference. And since there's going to be a multiple targets from the tick retracted, this is an array. So we're going to be using this as an input, and we're going to be tracking out one target, which is going to be the best target as an output. So from here, I'm going to be using this, and from outputs, which will automatically give you a return node if you click on an output, and I'm just going to click on one target. Just going to write one target, and this the same thing as a symbol. Yeah. So compile, save, and let's how to write the code for this. So let's deactivate this for now, and I'm going to be using a for each loop, and I'm going to over here. So basically, we're going to be cycling through all of the elements of this array and choosing the best possible one. That's exactly what for each loop is going to be doing. And now from here, I'm going to be promoting this to a local variable, not a variable. Reason why is because there's going to be another one um, as like another target that's going to be having the same name as this one. That's why we're going to create it so that because we want this variable only reference within this function and not outside this function. So all of the things that we're going to be doing with this current target is going to be so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this to our current target, and from here, oh yeah, I forgot for this also, it's going to be making this private and referent read only because this is a constant value. We're not going to be changing it like anytime. Like once you start the game, we don't want this value to be changed at all. So that's why we're making this as a constant and as well as a private. And so for categories, thing what I'm going to be doing is after running private, just like add this vertical pipe symbol and run system. So basically what it does is it makes a subcategory inside a category and where we're going to be storing all of our constant. So you can do that with the help of this using the vertical pipe symbol which is right above your table. Holding shift and clicking on the backslash icon, you will get this one. So and now what we're going to be doing is now we're going to be using a line trace by channel because um, so that's exactly what I was trying to explain. So let's go back into actual the other project, and over here, as you can see, if I'm behind let's go to another icon, which is yeah, here. If I'm Okay, so as you can see, I'm behind this wall and I'm not able to see that icon. The moment I come out of it's visible to me. So the reason what we're trying to do over here is that using a line trace by channel, if and only if it collides with that particular target from our actor, then only we want it to be visible. So like suppose in top of like buildings and stuff like that, if we want if this is like behind a building, we don't want this to be visible at that time because we just want it to be visible when it's in front of the actor's eyes and not hidden in some different and deep location. So that's exactly what we're trying to do here. So, so for that, what I'm going to be doing is a line tree switch channel. That's what we're going to be calling out from here. Let's call out line switch channel. That's the node. Basically, what this does, for those who do not know what's a line trace, what this does is that it takes a starting position and an ending position, and it kind of like creates like one line from the start and end position. And if it is anything that hits that particular line in its path, then it will immediately stop over there, and it will give us all the details of that particular place and location, stuff like that. It's a very easy way to create like lasers and stuff like that in the game, but I think like it will be more visible as we like grab this. So let's so yeah, from our owning character, I'm going to be getting our actor location because instead of the camera's location, I think it's just like we'll just take the actor's location as input, and from here we'll be plugging that into it, and obviously our end channel is going to be our the current target's location. So here, current target, so here I'm going to set end value. Right, see, so okay, so actors to ignore. I'm just going to be ready for this. We're going to be ignoring us. Basically, there's the amount of times in which the line trace um, might probably might hit ourselves. So for that, we're just going to be using this and make sure that if it does hit ourselves by chance, then we want it to ignore us and like the next target. If you have any other objects that you would like to ignore, like probably if you want to create like a semi-permeable kind of like a wall, which is like transparent but translucent, like kind of like a window, but you still want that thing to be visible from outside that window. Then you would like ignore, you would make that particular window also as part of the setting. Don't need so that. I'll save. Just to ignore trace complex, trace channel. This is all fine. Just gonna be using this for duration. Draw time 5 seconds. It's fine. So checking from my alright, so we're done with like this part, but this we can't go further from here unless we create all of our targets, like a little bit of targets, and then you can see how it works. So just go to the grapple target and go to the input, and inside here, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be adding a billboard over here. So just search for it and type billboard, billboard. This is going to be a billboard. Save. As you can see, you've got like this clear super thing over here, and we want this billboard to be the root of this entire actor. Now going to be this that, and if you remember, we have already imported our texture for this. It's the target on texture. So that's what I have done over here. It's a bit too big. Let's see how big it is inside. Yeah, so this is like a bit big. So what we do is see size of this. Just give it 1 second. Yeah, so I've set this to 0.3, right? Like the best location. So if you've seen what I just did, I selected this lock icon because I want all of these values to change by the same amount as I have done it, and just click right point 3 in one of them, automatic scale like all x, y, and z axis. Now, as you can see, this is there. Okay, and now this will be it's fine if you use this like this, but if you play, you'll notice that this is not visible anymore, and for that we're going to be using everything. Now, what you guys might be thinking is like we can just set this value for those who know. Set this value from game. You know, check this and then inside the actual game. But the reason why I don't do that is because if this is like if you're doing it in this manner, then you can see like it's hidden behind the character, and then it kind of like gives like a very weird kind of a thing inside the game. We don't want this to happen because we want this to be in front of our character, just like a UI screen element at all times. So the reason that's why we're going to be using this as a widget instead of as a keyboard. I'm just going to be checking this to be true, compiling, saving, and now let's set up our widget. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to add widget here. Just going, and along with that, I want to add a sphere collision, so that it's part of the sphere collision. As you can see, it's like perfect in terms of size. Like it's like perfect place. Spheres with and sphere. Yeah, okay, I'll be explaining about the collisions for this. Uh, okay, so go to the widget, and over here, what you're going to be doing is scroll down to collision, and we want this widget to have like no collision on it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be unchecking this, we're going to be checking this no, and we're going to be checking this no collision as well. So save. Um, so this part is done, and then when we go to the axis sphere collection, back here, here we're going to be doing, no, you can't step on this. Basically, we don't want to have to, like a weight or something like that to this. And at the same time, we're going to add a custom collection. So just click on custom and see it here. So, so the reason why we're doing this custom is because we want to change this. So now, we're setting these targets to be like static in the entire world, so that so when you have these targets and they're on a moving platform, then only the platform will move, but this will remain static in that particular area. It will not move at all, no matter what. So this is what like entirely is going to be done with this static like what do you call it? This blueprint. But if you want to change this to a dynamic one around the world, then you just have to change this to dynamic. And at the same time, inside, I think your graphic component stick refracted. You're gonna set this to world dynamic as well. But yeah, that's in case if you really need that. Alright, so we're going to be setting all of this to overlap except for the visibility. We're going to be setting that to blocking. So the reason why we're doing this is because since we're doing the line trace on visibility, if the line trace is not like if it's not visible to us, then kind of like ignore that particular channel. I think that's how it works. Very only, yeah, everything is like perfect. Okay, now let's also set up a widget also for side up here. Let's go back to the grapple icon that we have created. We don't need a cam spanner for this, so what we're going to be doing is we're just going to click on size box, select this, drag it over here, and we click on size box, select on width and height override, and it's to be like 32. So, and if you want to see how it looks like, just go over here, go to custom, and, and set this to be also X30. Then you select scroll, small box over, and inside the size box you want an image, so we're going to select it and drag it inside the size box, and selecting on this one. So for this we're going to be using the same texture that we've been using before. So just on the brush, you go to the size box and select on target on, and uh, I think there's something else to this. You can even add tints like that if you want, like add a color. But I don't want that to happen. I want right. So this is the place where you can edit that. So so now this is done. So file save. Now we're going back to our graphic target. We're going to widget, and over here, if you scroll up, and you see this, it's going to select class. And we're going to be changing our word space from screen space because we want this to be only visible on the screen and not. And we're going to be selecting this as draw at desired size because we want to actually draw at the size that we have mentioned inside the widget book. And now if I just compile, yeah, so now we have grab a target. Now as you can see, as you run this game, it's now visible. Right now it's visible on all like behind that particular box. That's because we're not exactly started the line trace yet. Like it's not exactly in the line trace. We have not plugged it into this target yet. So yeah. So so I think we're done with like the basic parts of this. Let's move on to the next part. Next one. Oh yeah. Okay. So now we go back into our grappling target. Go to sphere map actors. Here, now we can just like find the circle. So we can run the line trace as well because this is where the switching. Oh, oh yeah, now it works. So now if we go and we try this, so so to the so there's some What about return skill? And target. Okay. Graph. Okay. This works. Um, what's the active? So factor. Chances. Okay, let's see if this front. So yeah, this is a bit of debugging. See what's wrong with this one. See. Okay, okay. I think it's because we forgot to add this. Yeah, now it works. Now it works. That makes sense. Makes sense. Right. So what I just did over here is I didn't add a grappling arm bit inside the game. So none of these blueprints will ever be called unless we add them. So that's like the error that we were facing here. So now in my outliner, if I go and search for all the grappling targets that are available, right? So there's only one, I think. There's only one. Out of this is to be shown. Yeah, we just need these parts. And what third is for me getting this, and I'll be showing you how it works inside the game. So right now, as you can see, there's only one that's being printed, and inside it's once it hits this sphere collision, you can see that it's turning green in color. That means it's recognizing that there's a hit over there. So along with that, or what I can do is instead of doing both, let's go to graph, um, yeah, the component, and here it's not going to be returning this for now. Yeah, so now as you can see, it's detecting both targets because they're both visible. And if they're not, then that particular target is not to be seen. So like if I jump up and I can see that that particular target is visible for that short duration of time. So that's essentially what we're trying to recreate. I think it's like a lot of time it's using. So let's just kind of like scale this down to like for duration. Let's see how we get this part. So so yeah, so it's like it's only for like 5 seconds it's going to be showing, and as you can see, like as I said, it's turning a little bit of green when it's nearby, and it makes like this cool little effect inside game. So it will detect it from the actor's location and then it's forward to where it's going to be seen. Okay, so now we're going to be writing the best target code. So go back into the line trace, just turn on now on top. And from here, what we're going to do is first a branch to check if there's any object that's being hit. And the second thing, what you're going to be doing is going to break this hit result, and because we want like details of all of these. What we do over here. So what we're going to be doing first is just we're going to be checking if the actor that we have hit is equal to something. Then we want it to be like target under yeah local variable. Hidden over there. Get local variable. Basically, we're going to be checking if the target that is hit is the current target. Um, and from here, I'm going to be doing a branch. The shortcut for doing a branch is hold B and then let's like left click. So you'll get a branch immediately. This is like some shortcuts. inside your game. I think if you hold S and then you click on this, you get a sequence node. Like that there might be like a lot of other comment. If you press C, it will comment the code. Uh, yeah, so there's like gate functions as well. If you hold G, I think. Okay. Hold M and then you do this, you'll have like a multi-gate. It's like another thing. B, I think it's like the basic ones that we covered. And from here, alright. So let's see. Okay. Let's do a little bit of the maths of our target's location. So what we're going to be doing is first we're going to be getting our current target, the location, which we need, and then we're going to be getting our character's location. We're also going to get what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be subtracting this, subtracting both of them. So give us this part of the code, and so it's going to find like the vector from between from the current target character from the character to the target, and then we're going to be normalizing this. The reason why we normalize is that so that if there's like some decimal values, we don't want to we want those to be ignored and just like um, normalize this particular vector. And what we're going to be doing is from the character's camera, we're going to be doing the dot product of both of these. So yeah, skip, follow them, follow camera. Yeah, variable. Uh, and from the follow camera, we're going to be getting forward vector. And since we have both these, what we're going to do is now dot product, and this will return the dot product of both vectors. Um, and then from here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an equal sign in degrees, and then what is going to be variable, one as current angle, LV for local variable, and we're going to this up to launch out everything. So this is the part for. Actually, you know what? It's better if you do this in sequence. Makes more sense. Let's just put this as a sequence node, and then it's attacking here. And actually, let's make this a bit like so, so this drag this all up. Let's leave it as it is. Dot node drag this up. And here, what I'm going to do is getting best angle. Yeah, that's going to be formatting. Um, and what? Let's write this like this. Angle. Um, First one. Then alright, so what's going to be our step 2 is that we're going to be comparing this current angle, this angle that we have inside target. So greater less than, and since we don't have a variable for the best angle, So what we're going to be doing, like this, and test. Basically, whichever one is the smallest, we're going to be that as our best angle. And also for this as well, we're just going to be doing this one, and we're going to be calling it LV underscore best. Okay. All right. So basically, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be setting this angle. We're going to be setting this, and what we're doing is first we're going to be checking if this current angle is less than the best angle, uh, and we're going to be using an or boolean, or if we already have a best target. So the best target, we're just going to be checking if it's valid. Oh wait, sorry. If it's not valid, my bad. If it's not valid, just do a not. Okay. Just do a not valid. It should work the same, but but automatically saves for you. Set that's particular setting, and then again, obviously, we're going to be branch for this. It's Control B, left click, and I'm going to dark notes to bring this down. Yeah, so this is true. So what we're going to be doing is okay, we're setting up a target to current target, and we'll be setting our angle, our current angle. Okay, I haven't actually seen chat in person. Okay, yeah, there's no problem. Just having any doubts. On. All right, and let's just like put up a comment bubble on this. So if the angle uh, is less than best, uh, or then basically just like write comment that makes that kind of like gives you a better understanding of what you're trying. So it's kind of like all of this comment bubble is perfect. So I think we've done like two sequence nodes. What sequence does, if you guys don't know, is first it will execute these set of pins, then it will execute this set of functions. It's better because it gives you a proper flow of how things is done rather than like it'll be harder if you do it the other way. Because then otherwise you'll have to set from here, basically drag a wire, and it'll just be like one long linear code. But then if you want, like as I have done over here, calculating angle to target, then another one to check if it's the best one or not, then just in a sequence because I have like two different functions and at the end of it, I think yeah, I'm just gonna go all the way back over here from the side like this, repeat it, and send it. Makes sense. All right, so let's give a recap. Um, I think you guys might get confused because there's like a lot of things that we have done in this few seconds. So what we're going to be doing for the find best target is we're going to be running each target in a loop, and then we're going to be setting that as our current target of focus. Then we're going to be doing a line trace by channel to that particular target, and we're just going to be checking that will be from the character's location to that target's location, and we're also going to be ignoring our current target, like our current actor's. We're just going to be noting in, and then we're just going to be checking in a branch if the line trace has hit something or not. And from this branch, we're going to be checking if the hit actor that we have hit is the current target or not. Then only it will be shown. If this condition is true, then we're going to be doing this sequence parts where we're first going to be calculating our angle of the target by getting this current target's location as well as this actor's location. And then we're going to be subtracting this to get the vector from this target to this target. From the actor to the target's location. Then we're going to be normalizing it so that we can have like a normalized value after we find this particular vector. And then from the only character, we're going to be getting the camera's forward vector, and then we're going to be doing a dot product between both the camera's vector as well as this vector, and then we're going to be finding the angle to this particular target the cos inverse of this dot product, which would be setting our answer to its current angle. And then this is going to be in degrees as well. And then in our second sequence, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking if the current target is the best or not. First, we'll be checking if this current angle is less than the best angle or if the best target is valid. Because if this is not the best, if this is if it's not less than the best angle, because right now the best angle is now at 0. Because if this is not the best, then the best, and then you know that we have never set this variable at all from. So we're just going to be checking if this is valid or not. If it's not, then we go to the branch and then set this the best target to be our current target. If Yeah, we're just going to be setting this to be our current target, and we're just going to be setting this best angle to be our current angle. And that's how it keeps updating its values by checking and getting the best target every single frame of the second because we're running this on event. And then also there's going to be another return node which I'm going to be checking as soon as this loop is completed, which is going to be returning this to the best target. So that's alright. So now we're going to be doing another function. It's going to be called this set current target. After we find it, we're going to be happy to set this, and it's going to be private. Yeah. And alright, so in our current target, what we're going to be doing is be adding an input. We're going to be calling this um, oh no wait. What's this called? Grappling. It's called graph target. So you can get this object reference from here because we know this is going to be a graph. And also, before we go ahead with this, just go back to our tick retracted, and from our find best target, what we're going to be doing is we know that this target, which is an actor, we know that this is going to be the graphic target. So we're just going to be passing this particular graphic target, and converting this to a cubecast, and that's it. And let's get back into this part of the. And what we're going to be doing is actually instead of current, a new target. Save. It's going to be it's going to be to variable, and this is going to be the current target. This is why we told. This is why we like I had mentioned not to be careful when you're both of these variables because like over here you have like all of these current targets and then confused with these current targets, right? It's important to have like a proper distinction. And what we're going to be doing is that we're going to this to the private category as well, and set this to private as well. To private. Let's see. Code. Okay. And yeah, actually before we plug this into this, we're just going to be doing one small check over here, because obviously we just need to check if this is, if our new target is equal to the current target. Actually, no, I'm not doing anything. Instead, I'm not itself. Don't have to create another for that. And just plug this into this. And here I'm going to be using a branch. And oh no, wait, sorry. Oh yeah, a branch. So branch, and from here I'm going to be dragging out the sequence node. So first we are going to be doing. Okay, let's just leave this for this right now, and I'll explain how it works. Let's go and let's go back to grapple target, and let's go to grapple target and add on a need to add a function over here before. So over here in our functions, we're just going to get in set active. Basically, this will just like activate this particular target on, and here we're just going to set the volume value and just going to be active. And basically over here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting accessibility. So set accessibility, actually set visibility, and here is, and a new visibility is going to be fully available. That will go. And so now we're done with this. So now we go back to still open that as well. So we're going to be adding three things over here, and okay. Now first thing what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tagging our current target, and what we're going to do is we're going to be checking if this is valid or not. So you can just right click on that and say convert from pure get or convert it to validated get. Basically, it's like it's same thing as doing with this and setting it as valid. Uh, yeah, it's basically the same thing. What you're trying to do over here is just that it's just in one node now, because all of the functions in one. So that's what we can do. It's like a get validated get. So this. And as a set active, what we do is from a current target, so that set active call function, and we're going to setting this to false. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting our current target, the second part of the node, this, and you can actually search for new target, because that's actually a local variable. This input is going to be automatically like particular blueprint uses, and this will be your step two. So and step three is basically going to be you're just going to be making this new current target as valid. So I'm just going to copy this. Should work right now. So basically what we have done over here, in case you guys get confused, is that first we have our old target. We're going to be setting this to be not active. Then when we are going to be assigning our new target to the same variable current target, and then we're going to do the same thing over here and set the new target actually in actuality it's valid. And this is done with the help of sequence node. So basically what you're trying to do is this, and from here you're doing it. So basically, it's just like one linear fashion, but we're just using the sequence node slides. So that it's better readable. So now we have this current target function. So let's go back to take the traffic, and from here I think we can just drag out setup, and that's it. Simple as that. No, like we just set our basic. Now I think we can see this working. Let's hope that after all of this it actually works. Okay. I got the error. I got why coming. So just go to the widget, the graph target, and we actually have to set this usability of these targets to be false. So yeah, then and also some changes to the line. Actually, no. So basically, what's happening is it detects the other one as well, but yeah, this is exactly what we're trying to do. This actually just remove this line trace part. It might get nice target. Done. And works. So now, as you can see, if I'm hiding behind this box, it's now not visible, and if I come out of it, it's visible. And here, if I'm looking at this, and look at this, if I change my direction, like that. Now, if I replicate this, but one more, what else? Now play the game. As you can see, that's like the nearest to me. So that, and then depending on my camera's movements, I can choose like which one to which I need to select. It's my camera. So this is a very simple mechanic that we have created so far. I think let's actually just finish this as soon as possible. Is there any doubts that you guys have? You can ask me or just message me. I'll doubts. Or yeah, that works. Alright, so now we have done like all of this. It's like best things that we can as for now. Um, because we're getting like really close to the end of the session. So probably the next part, I'll be explaining on how to kind of like rescue. It will automatically go to this particular target. Rescue over here, will jump to this target and stuff like that. That happened. That itself is like a very painstaking process, and I think like the amount of blueprints and coding that we have done today is a lot in itself. So let's that part next class. I hope you guys have been following this through till the end. Make sure to set all of these blueprints before we continue with the next session. And yep, I think that's about it. Uh, Thank you guys for joining today. I'll be effectively turning off the so yeah, there might be like a lot of issues in the stream today, but yeah, that will be like effective. Thank you guys for joining today. Have any doubts or something like that, and you were not able to answer it or follow this tutorial properly, you can just like go watch the recording, which will be up on the channel. And at the same time, there are a lot of things that you guys can learn. We'll also be holding a masterclass on blueprints because the amount of coding that we have done today, it goes up to a bit advanced level. That's not easy to follow if you guys don't have like basic knowledge of blueprints. So that's something that we're going to be teaching. uh, from next class onwards. So yeah, that's it about it. I'll be completing this edition of this session, the next part of Leap and Bound, where we'll be explaining the parkour mechanics. Thank you guys for joining today. I'm going to be